Hello, ma'am. We are joined by Dr. Muskan Rana. She is the founder and director of Dermalin Aesthetics, and she's also a Sri Shakti awardee of 2026 We Women Want Conclave. Thank you so much, ma'am, for
Thank you so
coming
much
here
for having me.
and for joining us on this podcast with NewsX. My first question to you will be: how do you balance medical science, and how do you also balance looking younger, the growing pressure to look younger?
I would say practicing past 10, 12 years now, balancing medical aesthetics and looking younger is not something that's very easy. So people have expectations where they come to us saying that we want to look 10 years younger, but that does not just mean that I put in some work, I do the treatments and they don't take care of their health and they achieve the desired results. So it is very important that we treat any patient or any individual medically, internally, say nutrition, lifestyle. So everything has to be balanced before aesthetics steps in. If both are combined, then yes, we can achieve remarkable results.
And then I want to, obviously, we are living in a generation. Do you believe that now women are becoming more comfortable in their own skin rather than, conforming to beauty standards that have been put across in the world?
I would agree otherwise because with the growing trends of social media, with AI in this filter driven world, people, or I would particularly say women, have stopped accepting themselves the way they are, which is something that sometimes disappoints us. Being an aesthetic practitioner myself, I always tell people that we as doctors can enhance what you already have, but I cannot make you look like a filtered version of yourself. Or maybe I can, but do you really want that to happen? Can we not accept some of the flaws and enhance some of the things and become the best version of ourselves rather than craving to become someone else?
Absolutely. And then, the scope of aesthetics. How do you define the scope of aesthetics when it actually comes to, reality and the realistic expectations that people are chasing?
The scope of aesthetics goes far beyond any medical field. I would say it's a tremendously growing field. The scope is not just limited to beauty. The scope is also now limited to health. So it has immense scope, and I would definitely want more and more women come into aesthetics and take this field forward.
Okay, so what's the most important thing that one should remember before they undergo maybe an aesthetic procedure?
Um, the aim should always be to enhance and not to change.
Okay, so my one last rapid fire question: what according to you is beauty? What according to you is empowerment? And what according to you defines a woman?
I would say, as our Chief Minister just mentioned, self love would sum all this up for a woman to have empowerment, to have self love, to have beauty, to have empowerment, and to become whole in ourselves. Self love would be one thing that we should all work upon.
Absolute pleasure to have you over here on this podcast, ma'am. Thank you so much. And it's always been a pleasure to host you, to honor you and your work.
Thank you so much.